Welcome to Antidote to Anxiety number 40. I'm Georgina Grace, and we talk about anxiety as beginning in the head and moving through the body. In her book, Anxiety, the Missing Stage of Grief, our author, Claire Bidwell Smith, lists these 7 items as indicators of anxiety. Anxiety may show up as panic attacks, insomnia, nausea, dizziness, heart racing and palpitations, obsessive worry, and hypochondria. Please know there's nothing wrong with you. You're grieving. So what about panic attacks? Thankfully, I've never had one. However, friends of mine who have say the quickest remedy to move one from the panic attack back to a state of regulation and calm is to phone a friend and make each other cry. You see, that crying releases the energy that's there in the form of anxiety. Well, what about insomnia, Georgina? You may ask. After working with mothers who are bereaved because their child died by suicide, I have learned from them that insomnia is best managed pharmaceutically. I'm not a pharmaceutical fan. I don't do that, but I want you to know that we've had in this group several professionals who concur with this. So please consider going to see your doctor and then as a result, getting some kind of medication so you can sleep, because grief is grueling and it's hard enough to move through your day in a state of grief, let alone without adequate sleep. Well, what about nausea and dizziness? Perhaps that's where the cleansing breath can be so useful, because it brings you into the present moment. And that, once again, is simply exhaling on the count of 3, breathing in through your nose, noticing the temperature of the air, and breathing out through your nose, noticing the temperature of the air. One of the things that I am aware of is that the body tells the truth. And nausea is related with the metaphor, what can't I stomach anymore? And this grief has me spinning because of grief brain. That book by Mary Frances O'Connor is an excellent resource about grief brain. Well, what about heart racing and palpitations? On that one, I'd say go see your physician. Obsessive worry, that's where I recently shared the tool of the parking lot. When those thoughts come up that are often the same thoughts every day, day after day, you write them down on a piece of paper immediately. And then at night before you go to bed, you rewrite the thought so it is positive. It may just be as simple as, I am safe in this moment. I am connected to my friends and family who are here to comfort me. And finally, the last one, hypochondria. I grew up in a house where that was a way of expressing anxiety. It was also a call for care and connection. So if that's something that's happening to you, we know that in grief, the body has many, many symptoms and expressions of grief. Deep fatigue, nausea, dizziness, insomnia are all ways that the body responds in grief. So make a list, go see your doctor, and then talk to people who have been through, if possible, the same grief kind because of the same loss that you have experienced. And remember, sudden death blindsides us. So there is nothing wrong with you. You're grieving. And this state is a reflection of the love and the loss. Thank you so much for joining me today for Antidote to Anxiety number 40.